A ton of character adjustments coming soon, and an inkling into what we'll be able to see in future seasons. For more news like this, stick around for this week's episode of This Week in Identity 5. Welcome back to another episode, guys. Let's talk about what we got last week quickly so that we can quickly get to the important information about what we can see in the future. Last week, Hermit was available in the store to purchase so everyone could finally play him. Now that we're 2 weeks after his release, we're getting to see a little bit better how powerful he is, and people are still starting to adjust to how to kite him and also how to play him. So people are working out all of those strategies. Also in the store, we got the Flaming Heart costume package that was his B tier package, where you'd be able to get the B tier skin Flaming Heart and Hermit as well for some echoes, or you could buy them individually in the store. Hermit also had some adjustments last week where they improved his landing logic for his second Dawn ability, the ball in the sky ability when it teleports to somewhere. They improved it to help him a little bit with verticality where he's landing. They also improved his polarity reversion logic when he's recovering from abilities, meaning that he'll be able to swap between positive charge and negative charge easier when he's in the middle of an animation for one of his abilities. They improved the shock ball logic upon hitting Toy Merchant in the air. I believe it didn't actually land on her, it would kind of like hit her and land and then fall to the floor. Now it should be able to hit her and give her a charge when she's in the air. They also added Hermit's deduction. Antiquarian got a little bit of an adjustment where now you'll be able to see the stacks of her obscure trait that I believe is the one that tells you how many people are in the area when you're using your abilities to see how short your stun or your disarm will be. They added the new select mode for sharing your collection with your friends, where you'll now be able to do either the regular sharing or the feature sharing, where you'll be able to customize your sharing sheet so you can show all of your S tiers, A tiers, whatever skins you've got. And sadly they removed Frenzy Rhapsody. Hopefully it's temporary. I expect it's temporary, but it's sad to see it go. Maybe they're optimizing it. Let's hope. Let's talk about what we can expect from this week. First of all, we're getting the Lunar Festival event. I think this is the most important thing that we're getting, where we'll have some missions, as is the usual thing. By completing these missions, you'll be able to receive a portrait frame, also some fragments, clues, stuff like that. And probably the most important thing that you'll be able to get is the Lunar Festival skin for Naiad. That is a very beautiful Naiad skin that is a B tier one. As there have been previous lunar events, well, we're also getting the return of those lunar event skins from previous years. We'll be getting the Moonbound Prisoner skin, the Moon Maiden Perfumer skin, the Moonlit Traveler Explorer skin, and the Moon Servant Dream Witch skin that are from previous years that are all B tiers as far as I remember. Some more fancy things that are returning for this event as well is that we're getting the Last Dance skin return for Bloody Queen and the Vibe Cane accessory that goes along with this. And we'll be getting Forward's Locomotive skin and the Steam Boiler accessory that goes along with this too. Don't you worry, we have some new skins coming out as well, along with that Naiad skin that we just talked about, because Embalmer's ONCE skin is finally coming out, and it has some really cool effects that I haven't seen yet with flying text that changes around him. I believe this is an A tier skin and not an S tier skin, so it's nice to see these kind of special effects going around him. And I'm looking forward to seeing what else they do with this kind of floating text thing in the future. Batter's Ivory Tower skin is also going to be coming out this week, and that is a fancy skin, another addition to the Ivory Tower event, meaning that in the future there's probably going to be another Ivory Tower event where they return all of the other skins so people can purchase them. And how can we forget that on the 13th of this month we'll be having Mechanics Character Days. Let's get into some of the leaks, rumors, and some of the things that you can expect from the future, be it near future or far future. We're not completely sure yet. Let's talk about first what we might be able to see from season 23 and possibly season 24 too. Season 23, we talked about this last week. We've had the reveals, or at least some leaks, from IDV Curiosity. A lot of these leaks are going to be from IDV Curiosity on Twitter, so make sure you guys check them out. We know that the S tier rank accessory for season 23 is going to be for Lucky Guy, and it's called something chest, I believe. So I'm looking forward to seeing what that's going to be. Maybe it will make some fiery effects from the chests when you open them. Bloody Queen and Psychologist will be getting A tier accessories. The first one's called the Eternal Sand accessory, and then Psychologist one's called Restraint. But we also get to see that Breaking Wheel, Patient, Clerk, and Professor will all be getting B tier accessories, and it's cool to see that Breaking Wheel's getting one, Clerk is finally getting an accessory, and Professor too, so that's really interesting. We also have some rumors and some leaks that Wu Chang will be getting an S tier accessory in season 24's rank essence. That's a long way away. Prospector and Entomologist have been confirmed by Netease to be getting Hunter versions. I know that we probably already knew this, but it's nice to see that Netease has completely confirmed that and it's not just theory anymore. They're also going to be optimizing the PC version. They've been talking about this for what seems like half a year, but they've confirmed it once again. And again, over 6 months now, they've been promising to reduce the file size of the game. I remember talking about this last, like in January, I think they were talking talking about doing this, and they still haven't got around to doing it, but they promised us that this is going to come sometime soon. And I guess we should start talking about all of these adjustments. So the most minor adjustment that you might not even notice is that flywheel effect is going to get adjusted and nerfed. It's not going to be a heavy nerf. They're not reducing the time of the invincibility or the distance that you cover, but they seem to be nerfing. This is of course a leak and might change before they release it, but they might be changing the cooldown at the beginning of the match. Usually the cooldown is 120 seconds between using flywheel effect. At the beginning of the match it's only 30 seconds. So you start the match, 30 seconds, you have flywheel effect, and then from then on it's 120. Well, now they're nerfing that initial cooldown from 30 seconds to 50 seconds. So that's an extra 20 seconds where you won't have flywheel effect at the beginning of the match. From then on, it's the normal 120. So it's only a minor nerf, but does affect early kites if the hunter is very fast to find someone. We've got multiple characters getting adjustments too. Let's talk about Thief's one that might make Thief meta viable if this is going to be the case. His flashlights will take 2 seconds to immobilize hunters when he's shining it in their face, but if he shines the flashlight onto their body, doesn't need to be in their face in any way, for 0.8 seconds, so pretty short, the hunter will be silenced. This means that they won't be able to use their abilities for some period of time. This could counter some of the meta hunters. To counter this though, they are going to make it so that the place flashlights cannot silence hunters. They can only stun the hunters or blind them. And if the hunter is silenced again within 5 seconds of having been silenced already, the duration of the silence will be shortened. They haven't said by how much, but this is very interesting to know. Prisoner is getting a considerable buff. Some people might not think it's that much, but it is going to be relevant to him. Prisoner's default decoding speed has been changed from the original 100% when he was not connected to a cipher machine to 105% default decoding. So if he doesn't connect cipher machines up, he's going to do it 5% faster. And if he's connected to a cipher machine, it's going to remain the same. So 110 it was before, and it's 110 now. So his general decoding, if the connection gets broken by the hunter, will be generally faster. Prisoner's stun will also now passively charge, so you don't need to be in an electrical current field anymore. So you can just be running around the map and eventually you'll get your stun back again, but the charge will increase faster if you're in the electrical field. So that's going to be cool for him, making him a better kiter. Enchantress is getting heavily nerfed here. Her stuns will remain the same, but how fast she earns the stuns will depend on how many survivors are around her. If there is a survivor within 12.7 meters of Enchantress, the stacking rate is reduced by 35%. So it'll take 35% longer to get any of your stacks of your stuns if there is a survivor nearby. Wildling though is getting buffed, so Wildling is going to be a much better harasser now. He will now start with 80% of his rage when riding the boar, and he gains 10% per second whilst riding the boar. If he bumps into the hunter but doesn't push the hunter into an object, it will give him back 40% of his rage. But if he bumps the hunter into a wall or into an object, the cooldown will return. You'll be able to quickly and instantly use the push again, and it will give you 80% of your rage back. If you're looking at the hunter, your rage rate, you could say, will be increased by 60% as well. He has been adjusted and nerfed a tiny bit to consider that this is much better now, as his riding will now be changed from 65, 50, 40, 35 seconds for each consecutive ride to 50, 40, 35, 30. So that's quite a major decrease in how long he'll be able to be on his boar, but he is getting much better harass abilities and will probably be able to be used more often to be able to help with balloon rescues and stuff like that, as you'll be able to quickly get on your boar without having to wait too long to be able to use that ability. His decoding speed has also been buffed a little bit, similar to Prisoner in a way, because his original decoding speed was minus 30%. Now he's getting only minus 25%. So that's a 5% increase for his decoding speed. Very, very interesting. And this was information from IDV Curiosity. So make sure you go and check them out. Moving on to the talk in the manner where I respond to your comments that you guys left on my recent video. We have a comment here by Spooky Nya that says, people used to forget how useful First Officer and Magician are in solo queue. They're great options due to how self-sufficient characters are. They don't depend on external elements like support or requirements to use their items freely. I didn't really talk about it too much in the video of what I was considering is important for a solo queue character. The things that I required for a good solo queue survivor was survivability on their own if they get chased, especially in the early game game, because this can be an issue if you kind of get downed really early. This can quickly ruin the match for the rest of your team. Also, the fact that you'll be able to maybe help out your teammates in some way, be that by being a good rescuer, guaranteeing some good rescues. This was really important, I think, for solo queue, because often you'll find that survivors are quickly put on chairs, so you'll be able to quickly go over there and guarantee a rescue, or at least make it easier for you to guarantee a rescue, or to be able to assist your teammates to maybe help them in their kite at all if they randomly come over towards you, because any type of character that was really focused on harassing and spending a lot of time kind of harassing hunters into not chasing another survivor was not on my list, because that means that you need to have a lot of communication, and if you don't know where people are, then you'll be wasting your time running around the map trying to find out where everybody is so you can just help the person kite. And I also just wanted to choose characters that would have some type of survivability in the end game too, just so even if your team does completely fall apart, you'll still be able to get out of dungeon to be able to at least guarantee a one person out. Which character adjustment are you most looking forward to seeing? Do you think that they're all valid, or do you think that they're not good changes? Tell me down in the comments below. And whilst you're down there, remember to like and subscribe and check out the BlackPhoenix IDV channel, because I upload stuff there every single week. Have an amazing day, guys. Bye.